You won't believe what's apparently happening on the set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, according to murmurs. A stunning brawl may have recently shaken the streets of social media and baffled blogs, cast, and if what's being claimed is even halfway accurate, we're looking at one of the most dramatic scenes in series history. Apparently, during the production of a new scene for the forthcoming season, Mena, Erica is claimed to have gotten into a violent face-off with none other than Mendeecees Harris. And the altercation, it didn't simply stop at words, some indicate it developed into a full-blown slap captured on tape, leaving the cast and crew astonished. Insiders allege that Yandy Smith Harris Mendeecees' wife, was there when everything happened. We lost no time requesting Erica's immediate dismissal from the program. We're not saying this certainly. However, several behind-the-scenes sources are singing the same Scandalous song, and if even a percentage of it makes it to air, viewers are in for pure reality TV pandemonium. So what occurred? Why did Erica supposedly snap? And how is Yandy managing the fallout? Let's jump into this issue. The scenario apparently started like any other informal shot for the forthcoming season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The group had convened at a private bar in Midtown for intended to be a low-key catch-up dinner scenario. The environment was comfortable, lights lowered, candles on the tables soft, music played in the background, and producers gave last-minute directives via earpieces. The vibes were light. However, according to individuals present on the scene, tension was silently mounting somewhere behind the camera. Began unraveling the minute Mena arrived. She stepped in wearing a red silk jumpsuit with her typical swagger, full exhibition, and quickly grabbed notice. Several crew members commented that her energy was wrong from the outset. Erica was supposedly running late, and some claim she strolled in, already obviously irritating the other cast members, including Yandy Smith Harris and Mendeecees, were already sitting at the huge dining table when she arrived. And straight from during the first few interactions, it was evident that something was wrong. The producers allegedly had no clue what was going to happen. Apparently they were anticipating standard shade, maybe a sarcastic quip or two, the usual reality TV spice, but what they received was a storm. It started gently. Erica, apparently, made a caustic quip about how some individuals simply can't keep males off social media, a statement that numerous sources think was intended at Yandy. Yandy, ever composed, grinned hard. He responded, "Some of us don't need to monitor our men because we trust them." The atmosphere at the table transformed quickly, laughing vanished, side eyes shot across the room. Mendeecees, sitting just 2 spaces apart from Erica, stared down at his plate. Erica allegedly rolled her eyes and put out a tiny giggle before saying Yandy said something under her breath about how trusting your partner doesn't mean he isn't still lurking. She lifted her head and questioned, "Do you have anything to say, or are you just dropping hints?" The air turned thick, and the relaxed feeling broke. Erica moved closer, her voice low, but according to one eyewitness, it slashed through the room like a dagger. She reportedly said, "I'm simply saying if he's got nothing to hide, why he messaging women after midnight?" Producers halted, filming for a second, assuming it was simply standard planned tension. But then Mendeecees finally spoke, gazing directly at her and stating, "You're reaching." And you know, it's when things plummeted. The camera team apparently continued shooting, but even they weren't prepared for what occurred next. Erica supposedly pulled out. Her phone waved slightly, and asked, "Am I?" "Because I received receipts from the table." According to many reports, she did not exhibit anything at the time, but the threat of proof there, enough to startle everyone. Yandy questioned calmly yet firmly, "What receipts?" Erica smirked and shrugged, adding, "If you really want to know, ask your man about those DMIs from February." Yandy's demeanor allegedly shifted in an instant from serene to cold, flip that only occurs when something touches a chord. She turned at Mendeecees and said, "Is there anything you neglected to tell me?" Mendeecees, taken off guard, said, "I don't know what she's talking about," saying she's plainly making stuff up for attention. But Erica didn't back down, and she moved near again and reportedly remarked, in a tone characterized as both mocking and deadly serious, "I'm a liar. Okay, just remember I tried to be quiet, that was all." According to sources, Mendeecees stood up at this time and did not shout or go at her. A rose pointed at Erica and yelled, "Stop destroying other people's houses. You've already burnt through your own." Gasps again. Someone from production muttered, "Cut," but no one cut. The cameras continued filming. Erica stepped up, and the intensity was unmistakable. The table was between them, but the emotional fire had already over the line. Witnesses claim, and Erica's voice raised as she cried, "Don't ever talk about my family." You don't get to criticize me while you're out here pretending to be single, Mendeecees said. Erica went across the table in a hurry after saying something back, apparently caustic. Producers attempted to stop her, and crew members jumped up, but before anybody could respond, Erica reportedly hit Mendeecees across the face with an open hand. The sound reported by someone present boomed like thunder in the room. Astonished, Sandy allegedly stood up and yelled, "Are you serious?" Her hands were trembling, her voice broke, and the whole room fell into pandemonium. Producers mobbed the scene, security raced in, and someone yelled, "Camera down." As a cameraman stumbled amid the excitement, Mendeecees did not respond. Instead, he stood aside, astonished, palm to his face, eyes fixated on Erica in surprise. Erica, breathing hard, said, "Don't act like you're innocent. You've been insulting her behind closed doors." Her voice broke slightly, claimed there were tears in her eyes. Some say it was pure wrath. And Yandy pushed past two producers who were attempting to restrain her. According to witnesses, Erica's statements were clear. "You're done, you're not coming." After this, Erica chuckled coldly and stated, "You always think you're in control. Guess what? This ain't your show." That comment apparently pushed Yandy into complete anger, but before she could answer, a senior producer intervened and forcefully separated the too many cast members who were originally off-camera. Raced into the room. Some attempted to soothe Erica, others dragged Yandy back. The filming was paused on a point on the set. Security dragged Erica out as she was still ranting over her shoulder. The truth always comes out. Defend your spouse if you wish, but don't defend his falsehoods. And what was intended to be a catch-up supper escalated into the most frightening spectacle Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has ever witnessed. According to people who were there, the producers would neither confirm or deny the occurrence. But an unnamed crew worker informed an industry site, "I worked 10 seasons and never saw anything like it." Now, with the supposed footage apparently being examined by the network, suspicions are flying as to whether the slap will broadcast and the final cut will Erica formally eliminated from the season. And what does this imply for Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship going ahead? Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. This season is poised to move from drama to destruction, just like Erica. Escorted off set. Her words still booming down the corridor, the remaining actors remained paralyzed, unable to fully understand. Mendeecees, apparently frightened, sat back down and quiet while Yandy walked near the monitors, clearly furious and screaming under her breath. The whole mood had switched from contrived reality drama to something raw and fully unscripted. Crew workers gathered nervously around the perimeter waiting for instruction while producers huddled together off camera arguing whether the shoot should continue or be completely shut down. Murmurs filled the air. The assistant director was heard stating, "This footage is gold, but it's also a legal nightmare." Back at the table, Rashida had finally entered the room after shooting her solitary confessional. Her heels clicked rapidly on the floor as she joined the turmoil and noticed the look on Yandy's look indicated that something catastrophic had occurred. "What happened?" she asked. Approaching warily, Yandy turned to her hands, shaking slightly, and slapped him. "Rashida?" Erica slapped Mendeecees out of nowhere. In front of everyone, Rashida's jaw dropped. "Wait," smacked on camera. Yandy nodded, her voice quiet yet fierce. "She had the nerve to speak about DMS, like she knows something I don't like. She has receipts. It was a setup." In the meanwhile, Mendeecees sat with a blank expression, his fingers drumming softly against the table. He didn't say anything. Not until Rashida approached him and softly put her hand on his shoulder. "Are you all right?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "I didn't believe she'd carry it that far. She's spiraling." It took a long time for the full situation to begin spilling. Even before the cameras were officially switched off, but information had already started to surface. Something went down between Erica and Mendeecees. Insiders claim it's larger than we believe. Yandy is hot. Within hours, #LHATL was trending and comments came in from fans yearning for answers. Yandy, however, she remained relatively quiet online. She did not post any images or articles, just one modest comment on her close friends. The narrative had a dark backdrop with white lettering that said, "The mask always falls, eventually." Fans started speculating instantly. Was she confirming the fight? Was she talking about Erica? When it comes to Mendeecees, Erica adopted an entirely different strategy. Later that day, she went live. Standing in her kitchen with a cup of coffee and her hair in a sloppy bun, answered the claims indirectly. People prefer to play innocent until the cameras roll. Then they act like victims. But the fact that truth don't require no script, hundreds joined the live within minutes. Comments filled the chat. What are you talking about, Yandy? Did you really slap him? What receipts did you get? Though Erica didn't specify names, she didn't have to imply was loud and clear, making viewers even more eager to witness the video behind the scenes of MTV and the production. According to sources, the firm was in panic mode and had brought in a legal team. Conflicting conversations over how to continue. One executive reportedly wanted to remove the film completely. Labeling it, another executive recognized the potential for big viewership and claimed that, according to individuals close to her, Yandy was furious not just at Erica but also at the alleged texts. But during production, she felt shocked and deceived. They knew something was brewing and let it during a phone call the same night. She allegedly informed a fellow cast member, "They set me up for drama and now they want to pretend astonished it blew up in their faces." Mendeecees kept silent on social media, which only fueled speculation. Aficionados started digging out previous theories, prior articles, and even older images that may or may not real. People needed answers and were prepared to accept anything. So the tension reached a boiling point 3 days after the incident. The cast was supposed to reunite for an obligatory mediation meeting, but there were no cameras or journalists. According to leaked facts, the meeting between production, legal, and key cast members was hostile from the second. Yandy, Erica, dressed simply in a black jacket and sunglasses, allegedly refused to, even when the mediator asked if anybody wanted to begin. Yandy was the first to speak. "I don't care what has to happen," she continued, her voice calm but frigid. "But I'm not going to shoot another second with her this season. Not after what she did." Erica allegedly slumped back in her chair and rolled her eyes. "You think you're the ruler of this?" she begged. "Girl, please. This isn't the Yandy network." Yandy fired back immediately, "It isn't, but I won't share space with someone who lays hands on my spouse. I don't play about my V." The mediator attempted to calm things down. The producers pushed for compromise, but Yandy remained firm. "It's her or me. Stays I walk." And I mean that. At the conclusion of the discussion, no clear decision had been taken. Erica departed early, according to reports. Shutting the door on her way out, Yandy lingered behind and chatted privately with one of the executive producers. After the formal statement was made, rumors started to circulate that MTV was contemplating suspending Erica for at least 2 episodes, awaiting evaluation of the tape and legal advice. Fans were split. Some backed Yandy, stating she was right to seek responsibility. Some supported Erica, stating she uncovered something no one else had the courage to. And then there were some who simply wanted the chaos, drama, and slapped the video. Back at the main production, hub editors were already removing sequences, according to insiders, and they were asked to produce 2 versions of episode 1, with the combat one without. It all hinged on what the legal decision in the following days. While many cast members, who had been at the scene, started tweeting cryptic remarks, Rashida wrote, "Man, I thought I'd seen it all." Who Jessica White posted a black and white selfie with the caption, "Truth always hits differently when it's loud." Fans began putting things together, connecting links that may or may not have been genuine, and in the middle of it all, Yandy remained silent. No interviews, no lives, no remarks were made until a follower commented on an earlier post of hers, saying, "Stay strong, sis. We know you're dealing with snakes." And to everyone's surprise, Yandy replied with just one word, "Watch." That one response drove fans into a frenzy. Was she confirming that the sequence will air? Did she want to tell her truth? Or was she merely warning viewers that what they were about to watch would change? Everything was uncertain, but what everyone did know was that the drama was far from ended. The term watch was preserved, ringing over social media platforms, preventing the fires of suspicion from becoming a full-blown inferno. Yandy's one-word statement had done more damage control than any press release could have. Or maybe more provocation. Yandy, what happened? Did Erica actually strike him? Are you quitting the show? Rashida glanced at Yandy nearly. Yandy grinned and continued, "You know what? Wild people think if you stay silent, you're guilty sometimes. Silence signifies you've said all you needed to say." Fans took it as proof. The websites used that as ammo, and the story only became stronger. Mendeecees, for his part, eventually broke his quiet. In a modest Instagram post, a black and white photograph of his hand cradling his girls, with the phrase, "Protect peace at all costs." Fans read into it, and others interpreted it as heartfelt. Others claimed he was playing the victim. No one agreed, but everyone had an opinion behind the scenes. MTV was already modifying future filming dates. Fresh call sheets apparently did not contain Erica's name. Allegations circulated that Yandy had threatened to leave if Erica returned, and her contract granted her the option to stop shooting in certain situations. In situations involving violent altercations, more video from the slap event was apparently released to bloggers. Blurry footage in the aftermath shows Yandy pacing, Mendeecees holding his jaw, and a producer yelling, "Cut the damn feed." But even as the cacophony became louder, the concerns persisted. Was Erica genuinely attempting to expose Mendeecees? Was there any truth to the purported deal? Would MTV genuinely telecast the slap, or were they just allowing the web frenzy to develop anticipation? And most importantly, could Yandy and Mendeecees weather this storm without fractures as cast tensions increased and the show's launch date neared? Audiences knew one thing for certain: the following season promised to be everything from scripted, and as the debut date approached, the enthusiasm, love and hip-hop Atlanta had gone from expectation to obsession, and fans weren't only looking for drama. Every post, hint, and blurred-out teaser frame was scrutinized, like gospel. The purported slap, which may or may not appear, had already reached cult status among admirers who now wanted complete context, film and complete repercussions. And the network realized precisely what they were sitting on. Marketing teams started modifying promotions. Elements placing more attention on Yandy, slow pans of her face in the middle of confessional close-ups. Wedding Ring 1's new trailer was surreptitiously published around 2:00 a.m. I am on a weekday. Contained just 7 seconds of fresh video, but if stopped just so. Enthusiasts claimed to have seen a blurred-out figure lunging over a table was enough to unleash another viral storm. While Yandy continued to carry oneself with a serenity that just made the situation more heated. She didn't reply online and didn't address the websites, but she was turning up to every planned shot, completing every confessional, and delivering her, according to the crew, greatest on-camera job to date. But something had changed about her. A source on set characterized her as silently smoldering, was focused, professional, but different, colder. When Erica's name came up in passing, she would pucker her lips and gaze. When questioned about Mendeecees, she merely said, "We're dealing with it." The tone was always flat, but Erica spent more time away from the main shooting schedule. Her tales were more chaotic online than ever before, with cryptic statements about betrayal one day and luxurious spa images the next. With smiling pictures, fans were split. Was she spiraling, planning, or just enjoying the mess? Erica was legally compelled to tape a group event, which helped bring everything to a head once again. Scrappy was hosting a charity event, and Bambi's producers had no option but to approve her appearance. But precautions were rigorous, with 2 separate entrances, separate glam squads, and one strict rule: no touch between Erica and Yandy. But reality TV never respects borders. The minute Erica entered the event late, tension snapped. Like thunder, phones went up, and the bartenders muttered, "Oh no, not her." Yandy was already sitting at her table with Rashidita and Jessica, the camera team detecting the atmosphere. They positioned themselves quickly as Erica went by, looking straight at Yandy and said, "Just loud enough for the you're still pretending to be the victim." Rashida gasped again, grabbed Yandy's hand. "Don't do it," she muttered. But Yandy didn't rise, didn't shout, and only smiled. Same flat, unreadable look she'd worn for weeks now. "You smacked my husband on TV, and you still believe you're the one owed an apology." She spoke it gently, almost as a query to Erica paused, turned back, and continued, "I exposed your husband. You should be thanking me." That was it. A flurry of footsteps between them again, but this time, it wasn't Yandy who lost. Mendeecees had been standing near the bar when he heard Erica's voice and allegedly stormed, approaching her and said, "Don't talk about my family again. This is your last warning." For a minute, the whole celebration froze. Guests halted, mid-conversation. The music decreased, and for a second, everyone held their breath. Erica didn't back down. She cocked her head and added, "It's funny how you have so much to say now, but not when your texts were lighting up my niece's phone." And there it was again, the DMS, the receipts, the lingering mistrust. And Yandy stood slowly, eventually face to face, with the lady had disturbed her marriage and her season. "You're obsessed," she replied quietly. "You pursued my husband, and when that failed, you attempted to ruin him." Erica responded dramatically, "Maybe I just got tired of people pretending they're perfect while they're hiding." The cameras remained rolling. and the network subsequently verified that while violent altercations were not part of the event, images shot at the gala would certainly make the cut for a forthcoming episode was too tight, too compelling to ignore. After the incident, Erika left alone, dodging paparazzi, her face disguised behind enormous sunglasses. Yandy and Mendeecees departed together, hands not held but strolling, and Yandy ultimately put a video on her page the following morning, maybe as a subtle sign of solidarity under pressure. It wasn't a tirade or a breakdown, it was a crisp black and white sit-down video in which she stared squarely into the camera. "I've been silent because I wanted to protect my family. But silence doesn't indicate weakness, and it absolutely does not imply guilt. Many things were spoken, and many boundaries were broken, but I don't react to noise. I respond to truth." Followers burst with love, the comment area overflowed with adoration, and Team Yandy hashtags started trending. Even some of Erika's old supporters started flipping sides, doubting her intentions and labeling her sloppy for attention. Yet, as if on cue, Erika released one final blow, an Instagram story 5 seconds long. A grainy, unconfirmed, and cropped out picture of what seemed to be a mail chain with